All right, so I'm super excited to film today's video because we now finally have stem separation in standalone. So if you have the MPC 1 Plus, Live Mark II, MPC X, be sure to download stem separation for your MPC. If you've already purchased the MPC stems for your software, be sure to download the update so you can have it in standalone mode. Now we're gonna go ahead and chop up some records. I have some records right behind me, and just make some music. Use it in standalone. I don't have nothing plugged in the back other than my sample input and my monitor outputs, and have some fun. Now before we jump into today's video, I do wanna remind you, if you have an MPC 1 or an MPC Live and you need help with getting started, creating your first beat on your MPC, if it's a bit confusing, go down to the link of my video. I now have a course that will take you from start to finish, going over the basics of the MPC workflow. We touch up on setting up your MPC, importing files, sampling into your MPC, chopping up samples, sequencing your first chops, and finally giving it a mix, exporting, and having a track that you are happy with. So if you're struggling with your MPC, if you're just getting started, be sure to check that out. We offer different payment plans. So if you want to start watching these videos today, you can make payments. All right, so it's pretty cool to have stem separation in standalone. Now, is it any different? We're actually going to check it out right now as we sample into the MPC. I actually have this record over here queued up. So let's go ahead and drop the needle and see what we have right here. I actually like the sound of these drums right now. I think we can stem out those drums. Go to edit and listen to what we have right here. That's it. I only want one bar of what we have right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. And if you guys notice, if you've been following me for a while, you'll notice it's probably a different setup. I actually have a lavalier microphone, so I feel pretty cool right now filming this video. Hopefully it sounds decent. I love my SM7B, which sounds amazing, but if you notice, I move around a lot. I get excited in the moment, so hopefully this is something that sounds somewhat good, and we can continue to use this so I could not hold back when I feel that excitement. So let's go ahead and lock this in and see how this sounds. Yeah, 1 bar loop that we have right there. Zoom this out, and it's 4 beats. I'm gonna go ahead and hit process, and I'm gonna go all the way to the very last setting, which you're going to see stem separation. It's gonna ask you what you wanna do, if you wanna put this in a program with the different layers of stems, or do you wanna go ahead and just select what you want to stem out. In this case, I don't want anything else but the drums. So I'm gonna not put this into a program. I'm gonna just extract the drums from this break. So I'm gonna hit do it. It's gonna go ahead and process and give me just the drums. Now, one thing I noticed a bit of a difference from using it with your computer versus in standalone, it does process and it does take a little bit longer, but I mean, it's awesome still to have this in standalone. So let's go ahead and listen to what we get right here. Now, this is just the drums. Cool, I'm gonna process this, and I'm actually gonna give it some gain. Let's go right here and add about 3 dB of gain. Now, before I assign this, I'm actually going to go to process, and let's see what's the BPM of this 1 bar loop, which 1 bar has 4 beats. I'm gonna go right here to beats and select 4, and it's telling me that this is about 80 beats per minute. I'm actually gonna go to the new tempo and put it exactly at 80 beats per minute. Hit do it. Now that we have that, I'm gonna go ahead and assign this to pad 1, go to our main page, and we have that right there. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this down on the grid. Now, I don't like the downbeat that has that crash. Actually, you know what? Let's go back to our sample editor and let's make this 4 region. Just so we have a little bit more freedom, convert this, and let's put this to its own separate program. There you go. All right, so we got a drum break going on right there, but as you can hear, it sounds a little low, a little weak, a little muffled. It's not perfect, so I'm gonna open up the channel strip that represents track number 1, and I'm gonna go right here where my inserts are at, and let's have some fun with, honestly, this is my favorite plugin right now, and I think it's going to be my favorite plugin for a while, this Airsoft Clipper. If you have not checked out Airsoft Clipper, check this out. Like, this thing sounds awesome. I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna just go through and listen to some of these presets that they have right here. I'm gonna leave it right here in the deep dive. I'm gonna get right out of this and I'm gonna go down here and track or insert number 2, and let's go into this vintage effects and add MPC 60. I don't like the crash. It's already annoying me because it's a little too distracting. Much better. All right, now that we have the MPC 60, let's go ahead and add a reverb so we can give it some space. Go to Air Verb, and right here, let's go to the mix and bring it down. The time, I don't want it to be too big of a reverb tail. So let's bring this down a few, and the pre-delay, let's go all the way up to about 30 milliseconds, and let's hear how this sounds. Okay, that sounds a lot better. And lastly, I'm gonna go to this, where is this transient design? Or this transient right here, and see if we can make the transients pop out a little better. All right, we got that right there. Let's go ahead and hear the before and after. This is before. Not too bad. Now let's go ahead and start dropping in some samples, some melodic sample chops. I'm gonna go from track 1. Now I'm gonna jump into track number 2, create a blank program. There's nothing in this program, but I'm gonna start adding some melodic sample chops on top of this. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's it. I know it probably sounds simple, but once we drop those drums in there, it's gonna stand out really nice, and we're gonna pitch it down so we can get that darker feel to it. So let's see how this sounds. Oh my goodness. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about. Drop in something that sounds good with your rhythm, whether it's drum breaks. Lately, I've been just rocking with drum breaks. I'm enjoying the feel, the groove, the textures of drum breaks. And then when I add my melodic chops on top of that, since I'm also sampling from vinyl, I have live drum breaks, I sample from vinyl, you blend those two together, is a beautiful blend where it almost sounds mixed already. Now with stem separation, I'm obviously going through some of my records and not all of them work, but the ones that work, like this one right here, at first when I heard it, I was a little like, I'm not sure if I can get it to sound decent, but once I add some of the plugins that we have, and then we add a little bit of reverb, and then we put this melodic sample on top of those that drum break, it blends together very well. If you are a member of this YouTube channel, do not forget, after this video, I'll be releasing some of these sample chop programs to you. So you can go ahead and download this into your MPC. You can have these chopped up records that I'm chopping up right here in camera, and load these up into your MPC and follow along. So let's go ahead and chop up some more records. Ooh. you see, look, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Look, I'm sorry, but I gotta just stop real quick and just let you know that I feel great. First of all, I'm grateful to be alive. I'm so thankful to be here, man. Like, it is such a blessing that sometimes we take for granted because it's given to us every single day that we wake up. We're here, man. Like, we're alive, and it's such a huge blessing to be able to wake up. Like, I know it has nothing to do with making music, but it also has everything to do with making music because we're alive. If obviously we're not here, we're not doing what we love. So as long as you're watching this video and if you're watching me right now, man, you ought to be thankful for being here in this moment, watching this video right now. This right here is awesome. This sounds great. I love the sound that we're getting. I mean, I got this in here. The first two records just didn't sound as good. It's okay. Just sample over that. Create a new track. Start sound. Now, if you notice, I'm sampling when I'm coming into the MPC in situations like this where I want to just test out a few songs. I'm just sampling in pad tap. Now, if you don't know what pad tap is, it essentially will just record sample chops freely into the existing program you were previously on before you jumped into your sampler, which makes it very fast to start chopping up records and start getting ideas without having to go into your sample editor. So if you already have an idea of how you're chopping up your records, use pad tap. Now, if you don't know what direction you're gonna go with or how you're gonna chop it up, just use sample. All right, so now I'm getting off track and starting to chop up a bunch of records, but the main idea here is that stem separation is available in standalone for your sampler. Now, I don't know if there is any other sampler that will allow you to do some sort of stem separation within the unit itself. If there is, let me know down in the comments. But as of right now, at least in my knowledge, this is the first and the only sampler that you could do stem separation in standalone, which is exciting. I'm super grateful to be able to have this now in standalone. So if you have not purchased stem separation, I will leave a link down in the description. Again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to catch you guys on our next video. Peace.